There's a lot to know about chess. I'm talking down to the game itself. You can spend your entire life practicing the art of the 64 squares and will never even crack 2500 ELO. It's a brutal game, where knowledge is your biggest tool and your biggest enemy. To live by the sword, to die by the sword. Today I wanted to get into all sorts of knowledge, not about how to play chess itself, but everything surrounding the game. Let's talk chess knowledge. I'm sure you're all familiar with how iceberg videos work. I list you facts and whatnot, and they get progressively more niche or interesting as we go. I will not be breaking this video into tiers though, as I find that annoying, lame, and stupid. But in a way I am, because I would like to break it down to chapters, so to speak, but just know it may be a little more freeform in sections. If you Google Chess Iceburg, it's just a bunch of horseshit, tiers that make no sense, and yada yada. I mean, look at this, man. All chess players are animatronics. Rooks don't exist. Chess pieces can feel pain. Chess is a force to win for black. All games have a predetermined outcome. Bird's opening shortcut glitch. I know this is meant to be a joke, but my point still stands that there's no good content out there as far as chess icebergs go. That means it is up to me to produce a good one. So without further ado, here is the Chess Iceburg. Before we get into it, I'd like to ask you all to take your time if you do enjoy today's video and leave a like and sub. It helps the channel tremendously. We are so close to hitting 1,000 subs, and that's been a goal of mine for a little while now. Chapter 1. The Origins of Chess. Chess is thought to originate all the way in India, where it was called Chatterange prior to the 6th century AD. Obviously, this was a long time ago, so it's hard to say for certain, but this is the general belief. Chess is older than Betty White, basically. R.I.P. Betty White. Once popular in India, it was then spread to the Persia and the Arabic countries. In fact, the Arabs coined the term Shah Mat, which translates to the king is dead, hence where the term checkmate originates from. Even if it didn't originate that far back, archaeologists have discovered ivory playing pieces and chess artifacts in Uzbekistan dating back to 760 AD, so near the time, generally no less. That's a 2,101 mile gap between the two locations. Chess was spreading fast and far even in its youth, kinda like Cole Sprouse. Even so, it's not believed to have reached the Western world and Europe until roughly the year 1000. In late 10th century, dark and light squares are introduced to a chessboard. Late 13th century, pawns can now move 2 ranks on first move. Then we get to the 1400s, just decades before Columbus set sail in search of the New World. Chess was evolving into a more modern form of itself, where more formal rules begin to show themselves. Late 14th century, the en passant rule is introduced. 1422, the manuscript of Krakow sets the rule that stalemate is a draw. Lame. 1475 to 1525, castling and the modern moves for the queen and bishops are slowly adopted, so on and so on. Chapter 2. Interesting and weird chess matches in history. Did you know the longest chess match recorded in history took place in 1989? It went on for 20 hours and included 269 moves, ultimately ending in a draw. How lame is that shit, bro? If I put 20 hours into a chess game and it turned into a draw, we're running it back, bro. 20 more hours. I do enjoy chess, believe me, but there's not a chance in hell you would ever catch me playing it for 20 hours on one match. I already find 1 hour games to be quite excessive. Though I understand why they exist, it's just too much chess to digest at one time. Though it's nothing compared to Eric Noppert, who in 1895 played 500 games of 10-minute chess in just 68 hours. 500 games! My math may be a little off here, but that's 83 hours of playing time. So that means he was smoking his opponents, I suppose. Nonetheless, a question you may be asking, especially if you watched this video, go watch it if you haven't, did they not break the 75 or the 100 move rule with a match nearly reaching 300 total moves? At the time this game was played, the rules had been modified to where the 50 move rule would allow 100 moves to be played without a piece being captured if it was a rook and bishop endgame. I don't know why, it's weird, I don't know. This just so happened to be the case in this match. Bro, if I mispronounce anything, y'all gotta forgive me. These people got some of the weirdest fucking names, some of the weirdest fucking words. Since this match, the rule has been modified. I wonder why. My lord, son. 300 fucking moves for a match? Grow up. Grow up. The longest game that ended in a win for one of the players happened in 2016 with Danem vs. Azarov Turnov, which Danem won in 239 moves. The longest game played in a World Championship. For anyone who doesn't know, the World Chess Championship is basically the Super Bowl of chess. It's a dick measuring contest on a chessboard. This happened between Magnus Carlsen and Ian Nietzsche, which Carlsen won in 136 moves by resignation. The game lasted for 8 hours, 15 minutes, and 40 seconds. The world record for the number of moves without capture is 100 and was set in 1992. The longest time for a castling move to take place was the match between Bobastor, which is a Pokemon name, bro. This is literally a Pokemon name, versus Urkov in 1966. 46 entire moves it took for a castle to occur. Absolutely insane. All of these numbers gets one thinking, what's the longest chess match theoretically possible? 5,949 moves? Yep. 5,949 moves. Someone kill me, please. We are still a long way off from the longest game possible. Not weird enough for you? How about space? The first ever outer space chess game was held on June 9th, 1970 between space and Earth. The game ended in a draw. Basically, people on the International Space Station were playing people on Earth, and they would relay the moves back and forth from Earth to space, from space to Earth. These dudes were having an international space game. Wild. Chapter 3. Chess Cheaters. This one here is a hot topic. Let's start with the most infamous case in modern history, the one I'm sure most of you are familiar with, Hans Niemann. If you don't know, Hans Niemann defeated 5-time world champion Magnus Carlsen in a tournament which shocked the world. A player of Hans' caliber should never be able to beat Magnus. So of course, the rumor mill got to turning and turning and turning almost immediately. But it was this infamous Elon Musk tweet that really got the gears turning as far as how this may have happened. Butt plugs. It's more of a joke, but in all honesty, it's possible in how Hans managed to pull this off. The thought is, Hans had a vibrating device in his anus, allowing him to be notified of the best moves and to have a little fun mid-match. Oh god, B7. Hans has been caught and banned cheating on the chess.com website many times before this incident, so it's not unreasonable to assume he was cheating. This is what Hans had to say.
The notion that I simply can't speak about chess on a high level is completely ridiculous. I'm a very intuitive player. I made a gut call to play Queen G3, and it paid off. And even if you look at the pattern of my games, you know, it's I'm clearly missing many chances, and it's extremely human chess. Now, okay. So this is, I think, is that everything about the interviews? Have I covered everything?
But chess cheating has been a thing for some time and didn't start with Hans. Not every accusation of cheating ends up being correct though, and some have bordered on the bizarre. Unsurprisingly, when the stakes are at the highest in the World Championship, tensions can run highest. Two famous cases happened in 1978 and 2006. One weird story from the 1978 World Championship involves a hypnotist and yogurt, where one of the players claimed that somebody was color-coding moves through yogurt. Dude got the tricks, and if he mixed it up, yellow and pink, that shit was, I don't fucking know. I don't know how the fuck you transmit some moves through yogurt. A much more serious accusation came in the 2006 World Championship between Vladimir Kramnik and Veselin Topalov. After Topalov fell behind 3-1 in the match, his camp accused Kramnik of cheating from the bathroom. During the 1972 Fischer-Spassky match in Russia, the Russians linked Spassky's erratic play with Fischer's chair. The Icelandic organization put a 24-hour police guard around the chair, while chemical and x-ray tests were performed on the chair. Nothing unusual was found though. These dudes were doing x-rays on the chair. Oh my god, a bunch of silly guys. Going to the bathroom was and still is one of the more common ways of cheating, with theories of players hiding phones in the bathroom to check engines and so on and so forth. Today, cheating is all based off of using stockfish to tell you the best moves. How that information is relayed to you is where cheaters tend to get creative. I've heard of people standing on different sides of the room, doing weird hand gestures, etc., etc. Especially with online chess, I run into cheaters all the time into online chess, as I'm sure many of you do. This problem will never probably go away. People like to cheat. It is what it is. People in sports take steroids. People in chess eat yogurt. So be it. Chapter 4. Chess is good for your smartness. Get off that fucking game. It's rotting your brain, says the old annoying mom. Unsurprisingly, to me at least, chess is very beneficial for the brain actually. I mean, just take people who play blindfolded chess as an example. It's not uncommon for high-level chess players to possess an uncanny ability to memorize positions on the board to where they can play games while blindfolded. Completely fine. Even to win against other solid opponents. You know they get freaky in their bedroom. Blindfold chess is an impressive skill that many stronger chess players possess. It certainly requires a keen ability to see the board clearly, which can get difficult after many moves. The record was set in 1960 by Hungarian Janos Flesch, who played 52 opponents at the same time while blindfolded. He won 31 of those games. I couldn't win 31 out of 52 games against a 400 elo with stock engine, with stockfish. Chess is often cited by psychologists as an effective way to improve memory function. Also allowing the mind to solve complex problems and work through ideas. It's no wonder that chess is recommended in the fight against Alzheimer's. Some contend that it can increase one's intelligence. I mean, that's a little pretentious, I'm not going to claim that. Though I'm sure it does help with memorization and keeping the mind sharp, and so on and so on. The effects of chess on young individuals has led chess to being introduced in school districts in various countries. It has been shown to improve children's grades and other positive effects as well. Chess is a required school subject in Armenia actually, and probably many other places. Chapter 5. Pop culture references to chess.
Okay, Darius, point to the king. That's right. It's you.
In this chapter, I thought it'd be fun to just go through the many pop culture references of chess throughout time. There are a ton and I can't cover them all today, but I'd like to just cover some at the very least. So let's get into it. We can start with The Simpsons, which actually featured Magnus Carlsen in an episode.
When I heard a fellow chess player had a mental problem, I Skyped him once.
I'm not a chess player anymore. From now on, I'm only playing Stratego.
I cannot play Stratego. I'm scared of the bomb.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Even though, Simpsons should have been canceled like 48 years ago, who the fuck watches Simpsons? Still cool nonetheless that they threw Magnus Carlsen into the episode. It can be seen in Harry Potter, where they're playing a version with weird stone thing. It features itself in the show The 100, which I doubt many of you have ever watched, but I actually watched that show and did enjoy it, and there's a guy in this show named Shay Hader, and he's obsessed with playing chess. 2001 Space Odyssey, there's a scene where one of the astronauts is playing against a chess engine. Check out my last video on chess engines if you're interested in chess engines at all. Interestingly enough, in the book, all they say is they play chess. In the movie, it goes more in depth with the engine itself, and it's programmed to actually only win 50% of the games, which is actually pretty cool. In Star Trek, they play 3D chess, which I'm not even going to pretend to know how to play 3D chess, but they do that. James Bond can be seen playing chess. If you want to be an international spy, you best learn how to checkmate. Chess has been ever growing forever and ever, dating all the way back to the 700 BCs as I mentioned in the beginning of this video. It's no surprise that pop culture is obsessed with this. And I think they feed off each other, Chess is growing, so pop culture uses it, and then pop culture uses it, so chess grows. And I think it's just they cycle into each other perpetually forever. It can be seen in Independence Day, X-Men, Star Wars, The Wire, which is a very popular TV show in its time. And of course my favorite, it is in Breaking Bad. And honestly, I was looking up and I saw this. I don't remember this ever happening in Breaking Bad, but I guess because at the time I never played chess, so I didn't think anything of it. There's a scene of him and Gale playing chess in the meth lab, which makes sense because they were both super smart. Hey Walter. I'll leave it at that. Is there any references that are your favorite that I'm leaving out? I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on as far as pop culture chess references. Of course, there's the Queen's Gambit, which don't really count or anything to do with actual chess itself. But the Queen's Gambit, I will say, did exceed pretty much any other chess movie to come out or show or anything to do with chess. And it's rumored to begin a second season, and I quite enjoyed the Queen's Gambit, as I'm sure many of you did. I think with that being said, we can wrap up this iceberg. Maybe it was too long for some of you, too short for some of the rest of you. It's hard to satisfy both sides, Can't please everyone, and nor do I want to. A friend of everyone is an enemy to itself, I do hope you enjoyed today's video, and I did put a lot of time into this video. And I don't expect anything out of it, but it would just be so much appreciated if y'all can just take the time to help support this channel, With that being said, I hope y'all learned something. Let me know if I'm missing anything interesting about chess in the comments. Start a discussion down there. Talk about anything and everything chess related. That's what this video is for. There are 4 men behind me right now ready to slide in, and I will not stop them. I will simply allow it.